Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you were there, or struggled to recall the name of an old friend? It happens to all of us, but after a certain age, these little lapses in memory can start to feel unsettling. Maybe you've even joked about senior moments, but deep down, you wonder, is my brain actually shrinking? The truth is, our brains do change as we get older. But the good news, there are simple, everyday mistakes that might be speeding up that process. And once you know what they are, you can start making changes to keep your mind sharp and strong. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. You see, brain health isn't just about doing crossword puzzles or playing memory games. It's about the small choices we make every single day, the foods we eat, the way we move, how we handle stress, and even the way we spend our free time. And unfortunately, a lot of common habits that seem harmless are actually working against us. Let's start with the first mistake, skipping social interactions. Now, you might think, I enjoy my alone time. What's wrong with that? And you're right, there's nothing wrong with a little peace and quiet. But as we age, staying socially connected becomes just as important for our brain as exercise is for our body. Studies have shown that people who engage in regular social activities have a lower risk of cognitive decline. Why? Because conversations, laughter, and even casual interactions with friends challenge your brain, keeping it active and engaged. When you socialize, you're not just talking, you're listening, thinking, remembering details, and responding, all of which keep your neural pathways firing. But when we start spending too much time alone, our brains don't get that same workout. Over time, this can lead to slower thinking, memory problems, and even a higher risk of dementia. The solution: stay connected. Call an old friend, join a club, volunteer in your community. Even small interactions, like chatting with a neighbor or saying hello to the cashier at the store, can make a difference. Now, let's talk about another mistake that might be shrinking your brain: not getting enough sleep. We've all had nights where we toss and turn, but if you regularly get less than 6 hours of sleep, your brain could be paying the price. Sleep isn't just about rest. It's when your brain clears out toxins, processes memories, and repairs itself. Think of your brain like a computer. During the day, you're opening files, downloading information, and running multiple programs at once. But if you never give your computer a chance to shut down and reboot, things start to slow down. It crashes more often, files get lost. The same thing happens to your brain when you don't sleep enough.
Chronic sleep deprivation has been linked to memory loss, slower thinking, and even an increased risk of Alzheimer's. If you find yourself waking up groggy or struggling to get through the day, it might be time to rethink your sleep habits. Try setting a consistent bedtime, limiting screen time before bed, and creating a relaxing nighttime routine. A cool, dark, and quiet room can also work wonders. Now, we've covered the importance of social connections and sleep, but there's another everyday habit that might be affecting your brain's health more than you realize. And it has to do with something we all do multiple times a day: eating. Certain foods can either nourish your brain or harm it. And unfortunately, the typical modern diet is full of processed foods, unhealthy fats, and sugars, all of which can speed up brain aging. When we eat too many processed or sugary foods, we cause inflammation in the body. And that inflammation doesn't just affect our joints or digestion, it affects our brain too. Studies have shown that high sugar intake is linked to memory problems and even a smaller brain volume over time. And unhealthy fats, they can clog your arteries, restricting blood flow to the brain, which means fewer nutrients and less oxygen getting to where they're needed most. The solution: swap out processed foods for real, whole foods. Think colorful vegetables, healthy fats like those found in nuts and olive oil, and brain-boosting foods like salmon and blueberries. Even small changes, like switching from white bread to whole grains or cutting back on sugary drinks, can make a big difference over time. Now, before we move on, let me ask you, have you ever noticed that when you eat a big, greasy meal, you feel sluggish afterward? That's not just your stomach working overtime. That's your brain struggling too. What we eat directly impacts how we think, feel, and remember things. So far, we've talked about social isolation, poor sleep, and an unhealthy diet. But there's still another major mistake that could be shrinking your brain without you even realizing it. And that mistake is a sedentary lifestyle. We all know that exercise is good for the body, but did you know it's just as essential for the brain? Regular movement increases blood flow, delivering oxygen and nutrients that keep your brain functioning at its best. But when we spend too much time sitting, whether it's watching TV, staying glued to a chair, or avoiding physical activity, our brains suffer. Lack of movement has been linked to memory loss, slower thinking, and even an increased risk of cognitive decline. The good news? You don't have to start running marathons. Simple activities like taking a short walk every day, stretching, or even doing light housework can help keep your brain sharp. So, if you find yourself sitting for long periods, set a reminder to stand up and move every hour. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Go for a walk in the park. Dance to your favorite song. Your brain will thank you for it. These daily habits may seem small, but over time, they add up. And the best part, you have the power to change them starting today. Because keeping your brain strong and healthy isn't about making big, overwhelming changes. It's about the little things you do every day. And that starts right now. So, what's the first small change you will make today? If you found this helpful, let us know in the comments. Share your thoughts, your experiences, or any advice you have for others going through the same decision-making process. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tips on living your best life at any age. Until next time, take care and stay well.